Good evening. I'm Patty Erjavic, president of Pueblo Community College, and it's my pleasure to be able to welcome you to the Pueblo campus this evening and to welcome you to the second of 3 forums that we will be hosting in conjunction with the Pueblo Chieftain. So on behalf of Pueblo Community College, the Center for New Media, and the Pueblo Chieftain, I hope that you enjoy the evening, that you find it informational. And without any further ado, I'd like to introduce Mr. Steve Henson, who will be the moderator for this evening's event. Thank you.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's forum. This is for the Pueblo County Commissioner District 1 seat. This will be a race between Terry Hart and Dan Senta. I'll go over the ground rules just a little bit if you're not familiar with them. Each candidate will have an opportunity to introduce themselves and tell you why they're running for office. Then we'll have a series of questions and answers from each candidate, and there'll also be rebuttal periods during that process so they can come back and add some more thoughts or rebut what the other person had to say. And then as we get close to the end of this particular forum, then they'll each have an opportunity to have closing remarks to wrap things up. We want you to support your candidates and have fun. That's part of the deal. But it really is a forum. It isn't considered a debate. We want this to be an opportunity for everyone to hear what both candidates have to say. It isn't really about winning and losing. It's really about getting to know the candidates better. So if you want to support your candidates by hooping and hollering and clapping, standing, whatever you'd like to do, that's great. But we would ask that you respect the other person's point of view and not interrupt them or hiss or boo or that type of thing. And that may seem silly to bring that up, but it's happened a lot of times. And really, both of them deserve our respect for being willing to run for office. So if you'd help us with that, that would be swell. Okay, we did a coin flip, and Terry won that and elected to go first, which means Dan will conclude the forum this evening. So we'll have opening remarks from Terry Hart.
Thank you, Steve. I'd like to start by thanking the Chieftain, my friends at the Governance Task Force, and the PCC Center for New Media for putting on this event. Hello, everyone. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. I know Dan does too. My name is Terry Hart. I'm running for County Commissioner for District 1. The reason why I'm running is because I love this town. It has the friendliest people I have ever met, and it also has a wonderful climate. And it has a wonderful, relaxed attitude, laid-back lifestyle that I just frankly really found that I fell in love with when I first came here. But I know my town is not perfect. I believe we have the potential to do so much more. I have a vision for how we can make it better, and I believe I share that vision with many of you. I would like to see a happy, healthy, vibrant community with good jobs available for everyone at all levels of skill, that provides a good education for all of our children, that has plenty of parks, recreation, entertainment, and shopping opportunities for all of us, and enough public revenues to help those in need, like our seniors, our poor, our disabled, and our veterans. I believe that with the right leadership, we can achieve that vision and get that job done. I believe that I have the best experience, skills, talents, and vision, as well as the right energy in order to get that job done. I have the experience to do this job. I've been working for the county for 32 years. I know every facet of the county. I know it like the back of my hand. I know how to make it get things done. I know how to make it get things done for us. I've helped commissioners manage the entire county over the years when I was county attorney. I would note that we're going to have 3 brand new commissioners in January this year, so I think it's very critical to be able to hit the ground running with experience. I can do that. I've gotten involved with many other organizations while I've been working at the county, and in each one of those I've not only been a member, but I've also been elected as a leader by my peers. A few examples: I'm currently the chairman of the Citizens Advisory Group for Fountain Creek. I'm the vice chairman for the Chemical Weapons Destruction Project. I'm the chairman of the Pueblo County Retirement Board, and I'm the past president of the Colorado County Attorneys Association. I have the energy to do this job. I've worked hard my entire career. I've never been afraid to put in more than 40 hours a week, and I've always been willing to roll up my sleeves and get the job done, whatever it takes. That's the ethic I'll bring to this job. Some of my specific goals are, I'd like to make sure that we have an open, transparent, and accessible government. I'd like to make sure that we do everything we can to bring good jobs to this town. 11% unemployment is not acceptable. I'd like to protect our resources, our clean air, our clean water, our land, and I'd like to improve our quality of life. So I believe I have all the talents, skills, and experience necessary to do this job. I'm here to ask for your support and your vote. Thank you.
We'll now have opening remarks from Dan Senta.
Well, thank you, Steve, and I also would thank the Pueblo Chieftain and Patty at PCC and the Governance Task Force of 2020 Commission. Good evening. My name is Dan Senta, and I'm a candidate for County Commissioner for Pueblo County. I'm very concerned about the welfare of Pueblo working families. I realize the struggle they have had, particularly in these rough economic times of finding and keeping good jobs. That is why I am so passionate and so intent on bringing jobs to Pueblo that will employ our working families and provide them with a wage and benefits that benefit not only them, but all of Pueblo. This is why I'd like to talk to you a little bit about my qualifications, my experience, and my reliability. I was born in Pueblo, and I chose to raise my family in Pueblo. In fact, almost all of my family is here tonight, including my dad. I've spent my entire life in service to this community. I was born on the family dairy farm just east of Vineland. The work ethic that I have was developed on that dairy farm, working not only milking cows, but working the fields just like my dad and grandfather and siblings before me. I went to school at SCSC, had my engineering education there, got my master's in public administration. And then I went to work, working for the city of Pueblo. I worked as traffic engineer for many years. I was then promoted to the director of transportation, and then as other opportunities came up, added to my title were director of transit, director of aviation, assistant city manager for transportation, and director of public works. And in that role of public works director, I managed 11 large government departments and divisions as a huge bureau. Handled multi-million-dollar capital projects and annual budgets, including the new police building, the HARP expansion, and the parking garages. There's just some recent projects that were under my purview, all with zero incidents of fraud, abuse, or misuse of public funds. For the past 3 years, I was president of the Pueblo Economic Development Corporation. While I worked at Petco, I had hands-on experience negotiating with prospective employers and convincing them that Pueblo is the best community in the entire United States. I'm a registered professional engineer in Colorado, and I have not only the technical background, but the rational thinking skills to make good decisions. I believe that we need to fight for our veterans, the disadvantaged, for our seniors and our kids in this community. I believe also in open and transparent government. And I believe it's important that citizens know the reason that decisions are made and why they are decided. The financial health of this county is the most important priority, and we must be on the offensive when it comes to creating new jobs. We must be on the defensive when it comes to cutting the fat in the budget and ensuring that we're not overspending. Terry was right. We have 3 open seats in this race, and it's important that we not have politics as usual.
We'll begin the question and answer session. Terry, you'll handle this one first. Commissioner candidates for years have talked about extending the half-cent sales tax that the city uses for economic development and expanding that county-wide. What's your position on that?
Frankly, I would like to get the half-cent sales tax all the way out to the county borders. We do a lot of wonderful things with our economic development efforts, but there's also some things that I'd like to do to expand the effort and enhance our economic development efforts for the community. One of the things that kind of limits what we do is literally that. We have the half-cent sales tax that's collected within the city. That's a good thing. but it limits that the only place where you can use it by the city charter is within the city boundaries. And so what I would like to do is I would like to have some kind of at least a companion sales tax all the way to the county border, and that would eliminate the need for worrying about that. We can then help the fast-growing areas of the county like Pueblo West, Colorado City, St. Charles Mesa, and also help areas like Boone and Avondale that really need that economic development pop as well. So I would be in favor of it. We would probably have to work our way through the legislature in order to be able to give the county the authority to do something like that. That's fine. One of the roles that I served when I was county attorney was the chief lobbyist for the county. I'd be happy to work on it. I know a lot of the folks in the legislature, and I'm sure that we can try to make a convincing case on that. So I'm in favor of it, Steve.
Okay. Dan?
Well, Steve, I would be opposed to expanding the taxes in Pueblo County, particularly at this time. It's one of the worst times when you have an economic downturn to increase taxes. I don't think it would be good for the community if we did that at this point in time. The problem that we have is we have enough money in our economic development pool. You know, there's probably in the neighborhood of $30 million sitting available for us to develop businesses right now. So we, quite frankly, do not need to impose additional taxes on this county for the creation of more jobs. The other element is it becomes very dicey when you are looking to expand the tax. And one of the concerns, quite frankly, is as you expand that base and have to get the approval of the entire county, the risk of losing that tax may be much greater than it is if you leave it in the city. And that has to be a concern for those that have passionately dedicated their lives to the creation of new jobs through the use of PEDCO and the half-cent sales tax that the City of Pueblo administers.
Okay. Terry, any other comments?
Yeah, I disagree with my opponent on this issue. Bottom line is you know, most of us pay the half-cent sales tax already. We pay it within the city. I don't think that we would notice it, frankly, if it was a sales tax added on the county level. Secondly, to tell you the truth, I think that if the half-cent sales tax is a good thing, which I think that it is, and this community believes it and supports it, I don't think it would be that difficult to keep it in place. I think it's pretty critical to help the other parts of the county, and I do think that I just don't like any kind of competition between the unincorporated area of the county and the city itself. So I am in favor of it. Obviously, the way I would pursue it would be to sit down with the citizens and try to put together a measure that the citizens would be comfortable with. And so that's the way I'd handle it.
Okay. Dan?
Well, what I can tell you is the citizens of Pueblo the citizens outside the city limits of Pueblo have not been harmed because they have not had economic development in Pueblo. Do you realize that the majority of the individuals that are working at the industrial park, which is where most of the jobs have been created, although there are now other areas throughout the city, most of those work in or live in Pueblo West. And so, and in the Avondale, the Mesa area. So there have been significant impacts and benefits to all of Pueblo County because of the economic development tax that has occurred within the city of Pueblo.
Okay. Okay, Dan, you'll handle this question first. Substantial work needs to be done on county roads, especially in Pueblo West. How would you approach that issue?
We have a problem in Pueblo West with the standard and the quality of roads. I don't think anyone disagrees with that. What has to happen from a public works standpoint is the county needs to, in conjunction with the Pueblo West Metro